All right, and we are back for another episode of Does It Hold Up, the series where we revisit every anime that we ever saw in the order that we saw them, and we judge what might be our trash taste um against what's currently airing to see if maybe my taste in anime is worse than people's anime taste today, and if we could recommend series from like recent decades um to first time viewers today. And today it is a very special episode, a very wholesome episode. Probably I want to say this is gonna be the most wholesome, most recommendable episode. um Even just thinking about it now, there's like really nothing inappropriate at all about this one. Just like from my memories about it, it's sort of a masterpiece, if I'm being honest. Um, I can't think of a single inappropriate thing about this. But in this episode, we're going to be watching our first hentai. And what we are going to be watching today for Does It Hold Up episode 11, I believe. The hentai we're going to be watching today is OREIMO. OREIMO. um, I don't know if that's like the full light novel name. Um, OREIMO. OREIMO. Um, this is, if I'm being honest, when I was first getting into anime and then I came upon this series, I don't really know how I felt. I don't remember how I felt about it. I don't remember if I was bored, if I was super entertained, if I was super excited or whatever the hell, with this series. But I do remember that I was invested enough to get curious about the light novels and look up some of the forums of the light novels, and that was sort of my first introduction into the hyper passionate, super passionate fan base that is us otakus. And like we're like last episode was my first introduction into my first club, my first anime club. This is the first time I actually went into like the internet and searched up this sort of underground, sweaty otaku arguing waifu wars sort of thing. um Ramo is, if because again, I only saw it one time through. I think you can only see this series one time through. There's really nothing to pick up on. My final, if I'm remembering my final assessment of the series correctly, it's sort of just like the author's self input and how he probably wished that he had a hot sister and married his hot sister. It's yeah, as someone who raised three younger sisters, that's very not. That's very What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you if that is the case? Um, but yeah, so Arimo is a story about um introduction into the anime world via. Okay, can I remember his name? I Is it Kotsuka? Kotsuka? Kosuka? I know the girl's name is Kirino. Kirino is the quintessential tsundere. Um, Whereas last episode we were introduced to Gasai, the quintessential yandere. This episode we are introduced to the epitome, the poster girl of tsundere, Kirino. And oh my lord, so Kirino is actually obsessed with not just anime. I think the if I'm remembering correctly, the point of her character is that she's not just obsessed into anime, she's obsessed with very sexual anime, especially video games, if I'm remembering it correctly. And then she has like two best friends who are also otakus. Um, one of them one of them is super goated. I remember one was like so fucking that's how you enjoy anime. The tall one, like whenever she would go to an anime convention, she would full on nerd out. She would wear like, you know, the butchiest clothes, the shittiest like glasses, like all this like, anime merch. But as soon as she was like in the real world, she would, like, okay, I'm comfortable with my body. I know who I am. I'm gonna dress this way because I like dressing this way. I don't always have to dress with anime just because I love anime. I love both things. I love being feminine and I love being an anime nerd, and I know exactly how to balance both things. And that goes true for men too. Like guys, like yeah, like I love anime too. Like come on, like I love anime, but when I go out into the real world, you know, sometimes I will wear it's not I'm not opposed to, like, wearing anime merch, like, out there, but you kinda have to learn how to balance that out, right? Like, you wanna look good, you wanna attract women, come on, guys, like, we all want to attract girls' attention, um, or I'm sorry, sometimes guys wanna attract guy attention, but end of the day, we just wanna look good for the person that we're trying to attract, right? And so you kinda have to you wanna show off your personality, you wanna be able to wear, like, some accessories, and that's totally cool, like, rep your anime love all you want. Yeah, for sure. Um, but try to find a balance between, like, looking clean and repping the anime stuff. So, like, for example, one thing that I like to do is sometimes is I'm sure you guys have noticed I love wearing bracelets. So, um, I know a lot of people would find that gay, but I love wearing bracelets, dude. It's like a nice pop of color. You can do so much with bracelets. This is actually I've mentioned it in the past before. This is a friendship bracelet that my little sister made for me one day when she was like having a really bad day. We just decided to sit down and make friendship bracelets for each other. And this is what she made for me. And I've been wearing it ever since. Like, I love it. I also love wearing other bracelets. But if I were to find like a cool anime charm like this or like something like, more palatable, I would definitely wear it. Or like even anime shoes or something like that. Just as long as you're not full dressed in ahego faces, there's kind of limits, right? But yeah, so Kirino is supposed to be I'm trying to remember Kyosuka Kodaka. I know it starts with a K. I know it starts with a K. It's supposed to be his introduction into the anime world, which is supposed to be, I guess, our self-insert because I'm assuming this is aimed at men. And so this is sort of probably supposed to be like wish fulfillment for men. Like, oh, I wish there was like a hot little sister that introduced me into anime, and yeah, there's a lot of questionable things about this. Um, I remember hating the ending of the light novel series just because we all know anyone who watched everything and then kept up with the light novels, we all know who he should have ended up with, right? But it just it was I don't do people still say this? Wincest? I remember that was like a super popular thing back before I took my long break from anime. Wincest is what they would call it. I don't really know if people if actually I don't know if there's still anime that like does that sort of stuff that fetishizes little sister characters. Um Maybe I'll have to do some research into like harem anime or ecchi anime that are going around today. Maybe it's still like a super popular topic. But yeah, so today we're gonna be revisiting OREIMO. I don't remember anything about it. Like I said, like I saw it once through. I vaguely remember some forum interactions, and I remember hating the ending, and that was it. I was out. I was out because the person that I wanted to end up happy did not end up happy. So yeah. Without further ado, let us jump right into the first hentai series in Does It Hold Up? Episode 11, Oreimo. Let's go. Okay, so the title of this is My Little Sister Can't Be My Love. And I don't know about you guys, but that kind of tells me everything I need to know about this series. Oh boy. I am surprised. I did see that this was
お兄ちゃん、おら、いつまで寝てるの？もう朝だよ。はい。じゃあアイスお願い。
okay. Okay, as someone who has raised three little sisters, and I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna repeat that like throughout this episode. Sorry if it like starts like becoming annoying, but as someone who has raised three little sisters, as soon as you say I'm going to a convenience store or I'm going to 7-Eleven or Target or anything like that, does anyone want anything? You're either gonna get one of two responses, which is, hey, buy me this, or hey, can I go with you? Because they're gonna ask you to buy them something when they're there, dude. Oh, so it's very that's what maybe that's just like American brother sister relationships, because I don't think I've ever seen that in any anime. Yeah. Well, okay, never mind. I was gonna say yes, that's how my sisters would wake me up, but not in the position that she's in. What the? Oh my lord, dude! What am I watching? Yes, because a little sister would. No, no, no. Older brother, you dream sexually about your little sister, you judge her in real life, you fucking sicko, dude. Look at how happy she looks, like, because she feels safe sharing this with you. Look at how happy she looks. And I bet you're about to fucking say something. If you don't like it, as long as she's not hurting anybody, she's not hurting herself, don't fucking judge her for her hobbies just because they don't fit your hobbies. It's taking her a lot to express this to you. And as her older brother, you have to realize she sees you in a sort of way. A sort of safety blanket, so to speak. Again, like this. I can't help but like feel uncomfortable with pretty much everything so far. Again, because I've raised three little sisters on my own. Crawling to you with their cleavage showing. What? No, dude. That would not happen in real life. Like, if it does happen, one of you two or both of you need help for sure. No. Yeah, no. Even I know that like Japanese culture is super strict on that kind of stuff. Um, in my head, it's more strict on guys enjoying that. I think girls have a lot more room to enjoy their hobbies in Japanese culture just because the guys are more expected to like succeed. Not just in Japanese culture, in every culture, right? Like girls can kind of like enjoy whatever. Guys have to enjoy what guys are supposed to enjoy. But yeah, I wouldn't expect Japanese old school parents to be cool with their supposedly bright star little girl enjoying this maybe looked down upon hobby. Bro, it's crazy how much like the background music, and if I'm being honest, like even the voiceovers, like how it's syncing up with the lips, it kind of just feels like we're watching a visual novel. Like one of those VN games. The music's super generic. aside from the opening and just like everything's kind of like flat and par for the course, you know?
さ、もうこんな時間じゃん。よかったらノートパソコンごと貸してくんね。
Hey, and wow, that was something. That was probably the most interesting episode of Does It Hold Up that we've done so far. Um, that was our first hentai. I don't care what anyone says. OREIMO is a hentai. Maybe very soft core, but it is a hentai. It is so fucking weird, dude. I'm just like I'm trying to remember like I'm sure it was even weird when I first started watching it. It is absolutely weird now, years later, now that I'm older, now that my little sisters are older now. It's just like, dude, never would any of this stuff happen in a normal sibling relationship. Toast again, we did I don't remember his name, bro. I don't think they ever said his name. I think they just like his parents just like looked at him and asked him a question and shit. I want to say his name is Kyosuke. Um, he is a horrendous shit older brother, bro. And I know the series is kind of like trying to guise it as, oh no, he's a good older brother. You see, Kirino has this interest that society disapproves of. But Kyosuke here, he is heavily insulting her and making a lot of implications about it, but deciding to go along with it anyway. And it it's just, bro, and the fact that he's dreaming so hypersexually about his little sister, bro, and when he wakes up, his little sister's actually on all fours on top of that it dude, no, man, no, no. This is a hentai, absolutely. This is not a normal older brother, little sister relationship. If you guys have this sort of relationship, and I try not to be judgmental on this channel, if you guys have a sort of relationship with your little sister where you wake up and she's on all fours on top of you and says, "Hey, let's watch a hentai together," uh, uh, dude, no. Um, okay, trying to remove my vested interest aside. Mm, if I'm trying to base this purely off of like someone who's barely getting into anime, maybe someone who doesn't have any siblings but is like totally accepting of like the tropes of anime stuff, because I know for sure, I'm sure everyone knows that like anime has a heavy emphasis on fetishization of little sister characters and mom characters, and I mean, I guess if they're coming ready for that, like, hey, there's probably gonna be some freaky shit going on with like the little sisters. They might sort of like wave this off. Considering that, I guess this is kind of a good episode. Eerily enough. We get introduced to both characters. We're in the head of Kyosuke, if that is his name. He's not very interesting at all. He has no personality of his all, but we're in his head long enough and we see him react long enough that we kind of have a vague idea of what kind of person he is, which is like sort of a fits the mold, slimy, underhanded sort of person where like I'm gonna lash out at people. I'm gonna insult you, but only because I don't want you to see my true opinions, because my true opinions are slimy and stuff like that, right? Kirino, I did enjoy. I liked Kirino's character in this episode. I know I said in the I know I mentioned early throughout the episode that I remember hating Kirino's character, but if I'm judging it purely off episode 1, she has a good character. Like there's potential for growth there, and if I remember hating her, it's probably because she never grows as a character. But if we're judging this purely off of episode 1, she is a very interesting character. Um, she has her walls up. She's very not domineering, but like not even like imperialistic. She's just very harsh in what she feels is the appropriate way to behave in that time and place. Which is to say, like when she's with her family, she knows she should behave this way. When she's on the phone with her friend, she knows she should behave this way. When she turns around and sees her brother looking up her skirt, when he comes home, she knows she should behave this way. And when it comes to her hobbies, the things that she's most passionate about, which is anime, she knows sadly that she should behave this way. And so she's kind of like repressed that passion. And, you know, obviously, when you repress something that you love for so long, it's going to, manifest into like sort of aggression towards people. You're going to start lashing out. Um, but yeah, so it was really cool to see that when she saw that her older brother, I will say this again, her older brother, a safe figure, a role model, a safety blanket, everything that an older brother is supposed to be. When she sees that her older brother is trying to take an interest into her hobbies that she's repressed for so long, she is understandably very excited. She's very enthusiastic. She's so happy. She starts gushing about it, unashamed. And it was just so cool to see her open up like that. And then, like, even when he started making his snide remarks, sort of implying this is kind of fucking weird, she was like, "Oh, I mean, I don't really think so. I mean, like, I know this is sort of meant for that, but I think, this is kind of why I like it and all that kind of stuff, right?" She was like, she knew he was judging her, but she was still holding out hope that he would understand, and so she was still like kind of try to justify her hobbies, but ultimately Kyosuke, if I'm remembering correctly, is a little piece of shit. If we're judging it based off of just this first episode, he is an absolutely horrible older brother. He should not be an older brother. They should take him away from his little sister as soon as possible if he's dreaming about fucking brother, brother. But yeah, if we were to base this how we base Does It Hold Up episodes, if we're trying to remove all of our own experiences from this and trying to purely base this off of like how would a new anime viewer enjoy this series, I guess episode 1 is actually, it does hold up. It sucks for me to say because I know everything that happens after this. Um, I'm sorry, I don't know everything, but I know how it ends. I know how it ends, and it's just fuck. It's just there's no other word, dude. It's just um, but yes, sadly enough, if we were if we were to recommend this to a friend and we were to know we were recommending something etchy and we were to know that they're kind of open because they know the weird shit that anime sort of sometimes gets into. I guess this would be like a funny shit talk afterwards. Be like, dude, what the fuck? He actually married his sister. I know, bro. We're so fucking crazy. It's so fucking weird, bro. Like, shouldn't he have ended up with like? I guess if we're basing it off of those parameters, then yeah. Unfortunately, it does hold up. It does hold up. But that will do it for episode 11 of Does It Hold Up? We have seen our first hentai in the series. Maybe we'll watch a few more as the series goes on. Only one way to find out. But yes, please like and subscribe for more reactions. I also react to other anime series, movies, shows that I'm watching. If that's not your thing, I also stream regularly on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you need some background noise while you do chores, homework, all that kind of stuff. I'm very good at talking to myself. But if this is all you see me, my name's Adam. Thanks for checking out Jupiter Machine. As always, steal credit cards, hurt your loved ones. Don't sleep with your fucking sisters, dude. Oh man. Until next time, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.